Good morning, everybody. Greetings from the Serbian capital. It's still morning here. My name is Jelena Stankovic. I'm PR of Belgrade Tourism Board. And welcome to the panel, Strengthen Your Tourism Brand, the Rise of Belgrade. I have a great pleasure and honor to host two great speakers today, Mr. Miodrag Popovic, Director of Tourist Organization of Belgrade, and Ivana Sert, a famous TV star, celebrity, fashion designer, businesswoman, entrepreneur. Well, the list is long. Good morning to you both. How are you?
Good morning.
Morning.
In recent years,
I don't know who's going to start talking first. I miss you guys all, by the way.
We miss you too. I'll start with Miodrag first. After Alex's introduction, in recent years, as Alex said, Serbia started to attract more and more tourists. I'm talking about international tourists from all over the world. According to the statistical data, this year started promising the best results, but suddenly, as we all know, everything stopped. Miodrag, can you tell us more about this rising popularity of Belgrade? How did that happen? And what was your strategy behind it, being the leader of Belgrade Tourism Board for 8 years now?
Well, first of all, good morning to all of our viewers. Good morning, and our very best to Uzakrota and everybody that's on it at the moment. Good morning, Ivana. I haven't seen you for a long time. Hope to see you in person soon. Good morning, Jelena. We see each other every day, but it's at least polite to say that. So let me start from 2014, as you as well remember. 2014, we started in 2014. The whole thing with Turkey, for instance, started much earlier, but from 2014, we've changed our tactics regarding our presentation, Tourist Board of Belgrade presentation worldwide. And we were thinking big, and some of that big became reality in years to follow. Then from 2014 up to the beginning of this year, we have seen Belgrade booming both in infrastructure, in sense of hospitality, but also in our presentations. And that's, I think, the good formula for it, because with the city authorities, we planned every step. Beginning from the infrastructure, that's good for the hospitality as a whole, and on the other hand, we've been persuasive. And back in beginning of 2014, we had 67 hotels in Belgrade. Now it's well over 100, maybe 120. I lost the count, and we tripled accommodation, but we also tripled every aspect of what's hospitality as a whole. Especially in presentation, which is also partly, to a certain extent, a very good extent, is it was and still is yours to follow and to promote. But anyway, we've been sure from the beginning what's our product, and that's what's important, especially in Serbia, and that's city break. When we realized the city break is a great opportunity for Belgrade, then I just can't say that everything was easy, but it was a hard work. But nevertheless, I think that we've managed to do so, and gradually, step by step, we came up with large numbers. Those large numbers were to follow in years to follow also after 2014 up to the end of February this year. In first 2 months this year, we had rise of well over 30% of incoming foreign guests. So we hope to have 2020 the best year ever. Although every year from 2014 up till 2020 was the best year ever. But this was something special. We also felt it here in Belgrade that this is going to be the year. Unfortunately, it all stopped on Uzakrota summit. That was the last gig we had in the beginning of the March this year. So after that, everything stopped. Now, from time to time, from March until beginning of December, this is the 1st of December, we had some reflexes of all the things that were happening before. For instance, in September, we had something that could be called a rise in incoming guests, foreign guests, but unfortunately it stopped now. At the moment, we are in a very difficult position as the best part of Europe, but nevertheless, we are not losing hope. We are preparing for what's to come. We are trying to amend, adjust to the situation we have at the moment, and hopefully and gradually we will start all over again. Now, we've been on that road before, so I'm an optimist because we've started, I don't know, it was not just a scratch, it was a little bit over a scratch, and we came with large numbers. I think that we know how to work, we know how to do it, and we'll start all over again.
Thank you, Miodrag. Thank you very much. Ivana, as Miodrag said, Uzakrota in March was the last event that we had, and that was the last opportunity to see you in person. So I was very much looking forward to talking to you today. As someone who have traveled the world probably many times and have seen the most beautiful places, from your perspective, and not as someone who carries Serbia in your heart, in your opinion, why visitors should choose Belgrade? What is the main advantage of Belgrade as a city break destination? Would it be historical ties, culture, or something else? We hear you.
I can hear you guys. We can
hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm Serbian, of course. So I'm not gonna be so much into my. Yeah, you can hear me. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I travel a lot, and I saw many countries in my life. But Serbia is very warm. I mean, peoples are very warm and very happy people, I would say. So apart from the historical part and the amazing food that we offer, reasonable prices when it comes to the nightlife and gastronomy, altogether, village tourism and different things that we can offer as a small country, I would say. Yeah, we are in very good way to become one of the major spots of tourism and visit, and people want to visit in Europe. It's a Belgrade is like it's a beautiful city. I love Belgrade. A lot of places to go visit. We have a lot of greenery, parks, and as I said, the food is amazing. Beautiful people. Most of the Turkish people, because I am in Turkey right now, I live here for 20 years. They love Belgrade for those reasons, because they can afford good life standards, good nightlife, gastronomy, and visit the important places as Nikola Tesla or Kalemegdan or Museum of Nikola Tesla, Kalemegdan, and different places that we all world knows about when we talk about Belgrade.
Well, thank you, Ivana. We hope to see you visiting all those great places very soon. Mr. Popovic, we cannot avoid talking about how coronavirus crisis disrupted all the plans and stopped most of the business activities. How did you spend this year, and how did you manage the crisis within the tourism board? And did you see and use any opportunity in this situation? How was this year in terms of business for you?
First of all, let me get back to what's beautiful in Belgrade. In Serbia, we have two beautiful examples here, Jelena and Ivana, of course. So that's speaking volumes for us when it comes to what's beautiful in Belgrade. Nevertheless, yeah, this year was very hard. Well, we are not pretending that it's not, but nevertheless, we've turned to the things we can do at the moment, first of all, as everybody else, we've turned online, and we were working and still are working online, trying to promote Belgrade that way. There have been some changes. For instance, I used to see when you are advertising a city, a bunch of people, events, concerts, sport events, but now people, nevertheless, they cannot see that because of the Corona crisis. But the other thing is that people are tend to see scenery, photographs with not so many people on it. So you gradually have to move from one attitude to the other. So that's basically what we did. Now Belgrade, like Istanbul, is a very old city. Belgrade, like Istanbul, is an eclectic city, and that's what's important. And that there are lots of things you can show online regarding the history, the culture, everyday life, but not showing too many people. And that's what counts at the moment. So that's on one side. On the other side, we've turned to Belgrade and the parts of Belgrade that are maybe not very well known even to Belgradians. And those are the outskirts of Belgrade. As you may know, Jelena, we are, both of us and the tourist board of Belgrade, we are working on that at the moment. And from March on, we've been working on it. Those are places in Belgrade of beautiful scenery, places to be discovered or rediscovered for Belgradians. Things we used to do back in, for instance, 70s. Our fathers and mothers took us there. Now we came back to it. As one said, get back to where you once belonged. And that's the truth. And Belgradians are rediscovering their outskirts of their city, and we are helping them to do so. And we are helping those people on the spot to change to a man, to make it more acceptable, and to work on everything from infrastructure to possible events in the future. And that's what we are doing at the moment. And that preoccupies us, it gives us an opportunity to work hard again, because Tourist Board of Belgrade is used to work hard. And when we are not working hard, we are lost. In order not to get lost, we are now have full schedule in December, in January, February, March, and hope to see as many people as we can see, depending on the coronavirus situation. From, I don't know, I'm an optimist. I hope from March on that we will see more people coming to us, especially from Turkey, because Turkey used to be the #1 market for us. Now it's between China and Turkey. Now, when I say that, it sounds like it was happening ages ago, but that was the beginning of this year. So hopefully we'll get our people from abroad, from all over the world, back, I don't know, from next spring or the summer. Yes, and we're working hard, and that's what we spent last 6-8 months on in our line of work.
So basically, you were devoted on developing certain projects in Belgrade in order to present them even to more tourists when the situation ends.
Yeah,
right?
The general idea is that we come up with new things in Belgrade. So from this crisis, we are going to get stronger than we were in the beginning.
Thank you, Miodrag. Ivana, you are very known for your creative projects, and you were also very active this year. You are known as a hardworking person too. Your followers on social media could see that you were, among many other things, promoting domestic tourism in Turkey and values such as safe travel, which happened to be one of the most important tourism values this year. What do you think that Serbia should do to gain a status of a safe destination? And do you think that people will look for elite destinations after coronavirus, and what Serbia could do to attract elite travelers, for instance? Do you hear me, Ivana?
Okay, now yes.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the connection. I didn't hear half of the stuff that you talk about, but most of the things I know already. So it's as long as I hear my question, I'm good.
So the question is, as someone who was also very hardworking this year, you were very active. You could see that on your social media. Among many other things, you were promoting domestic tourism and safe travel. Safe travel is something that was very important this year. In your opinion, what do you think that Serbia should do to gain that status? And do you think that maybe elite travelers would look up to Serbia as a new destination for elite travel?
Yeah, a destination, yeah, of course, but we need to work a little bit more into the what people, elite tourists wants, and I think it's more like upgraded restaurants, like Michelin-starred restaurants, 5 stars, more 5 stars hotels as 4 seasons, and I don't know, stuff that we elite wants, more elite things. Because also nightlife, yes, it's amazing, great, but there could be some more brands for shopping as well. I mean, elite, what elite wants, yes, it's more about luxury lifestyle that Belgrade can offer. If we could offer, it will have more elite tourists, I think. So I mean, that's about it, because we do have a lot of regular stuff to offer, but for those people, like I don't know if you want to compare with Italy or France or other countries, we need to be like them. If we, yes, we don't have a sea, we have a beautiful river, but on that river we can have more elite restaurants to offer to the tourists, and more you know, what elites want, more luxury lifestyle to give.
As someone who traveled within the country this year, how safety is important in your opinion?
And of course, it could be nice to have some concerts of.
We lost Ivana for a moment. Okay, Mr. Popovic, what are your future plans? We are all optimistic that this will end very soon. I'm talking about the coronavirus situation. And what are your plans for the next period? How do you plan to bring back all the tourists and to even increase that number?
Well, I actually, let me get back to Ivana. Now, we have more luxury restaurants on the river, so we promise to take you when you come back to Belgrade. So there are, although there is a coronavirus and everything that's going on, there are some new places in Belgrade, very interesting places. We didn't forget how to make people happy here in this city. So when you come back to Belgrade, you'll see more new, beautiful, or the good places to go out in Belgrade. But yeah, what are our plans now? Well, actually, it's easy to say we don't have any plans because we don't know what's going to happen even tomorrow, because the numbers are high at the moment. But we haven't lost it yet. So next year, I suppose that gradually we are getting back to the routine. What does that mean? That means that we have to work twice as hard as we used to do, because it's a new beginning for all of us. It's not a new beginning for Belgrade. Yes, some things are going to change, of course. yes, they're talking about new reality. I don't know. I'm living in this reality. I don't know the other without uh, any interference with other things in our regular lives. But nevertheless, uh, yes, I think that we have to amend certain things, and we are going to start again with well, numbers that are not so high, but we have to do it one step at a time, as we are doing now. So basically, when the virus dies down, we are going to increase our activities, meaning that yes, we have our road shows. Road shows are going to be back sometime next year. I don't know when, but the thing is that next year we have to react. Now, every inch that we can take from what's going on today, we are going to take it. I suppose it's going to be firstly, it's going to be the region, meaning our neighboring countries, meaning, of course, especially Turkey. We are going to work with our neighbors. We've been to a very similar discussion like 2 weeks ago with the people from the region. So we are all pleading, let's work together. And that's what's important, especially when it comes to mice. We haven't mentioned mice yet, but it was hard hit, and it is still hard hit. So the other problem is with the agencies that are hit the hardest, the corona hit the hardest. Well, our state did help the accommodation, did help the hotels in Belgrade and in Serbia, did help other other parts of hospitality, but actually agencies at the moment are hit hardest, and that's what we have to come up with. We have to come up with a solution for them in next month, because if you lose something from the parts of what's hospitality, either the restaurants, the cafes, or the hotels, or other means of accommodation or the transport, it's going to be very hard to get them back on board. I mean, like we've been doing, or we've been striving for years now to make Belgrade European city break destination. We managed to do so, and now it would be, I don't know, it would be at least very hard if we lose some of those parts and things we have managed so far.
Jelena, Miodrag, may I ask you a question? Because Ivana and I, we are in Turkey. We're living both in Turkey usually. And if you look at our names, if you look the way my name is written, and then Ivana, well, Ivana doesn't need an introduction. She's a star in Turkey. Everybody knows her. When you see her, when she steps out on the street, everybody knows who she is. And we are kind of ambassadors of our countries. You always, carry the name of your country. What do you want from us to do? What would you like to see us and thousands of others? Because Serbia has a huge diaspora. There are so many Serbian people living in Germany, in the United States, in Austria, in Russia, in China, everywhere around the world. What is the main message you want your ambassadors to carry out in the world?
Well, actually, to do what you are doing at the moment, like love your country and tell people about it. And that's what's yeah, and that's what's most important. I mean, you are guys so popular in your walks of life, both of you. Of course, I'm looking to Ivana naturally, predominantly, but nevertheless, there are people in sports, in culture, in science, all over the world, and they all come from Serbia. And yes, they are very very potent ambassadors for what is Serbia and what is Belgrade, and they're doing a great job as we speak. But actually, you cannot invite people to come at the moment because half of the world is closed down, and gradually Serbia is also closing. We don't know at the moment that we are going to be open for the Christmas or for the New Year, for the holidays that are very near, like 2 or 3 weeks away. We do not know at the moment that if we are going to be closed down altogether. And actually, we are inviting you, but we are not telling you when to come.
Standing invitation. That's always the best.
Yeah, that's the standing invitation. And when they asked me, we had a meeting like a couple of weeks ago in our government, and actually, what are we going to do? Well, let's work as usual, and people are going to decide if they are going to come. If we are persuasive, they're going to come anyway. Yes, there is a corona, but on the other hand, well, people are going to decide for themselves, and you guys are going to help them. And that's how I see it. Yes, we are going to have special gigs with you, especially in Turkey, because we need Turkey so much. But we are trying to get through the people in other countries, either people from the sports, from Novak Djokovic on, or the people that are in science or in culture. But again, the mice is almost dead, not in Belgrade, but all over the world. So people tend to be our physicians, medical doctors, people in science, been in their own rights. They have been very persuasive, and we have lots of mice meetings here in Belgrade, thanks to them. And that's their part of the work. Now, basically, Ivana, for instance, Ivana is a famous figure in Turkey, and Ivana so far has helped us a lot in Turkey. Likewise, we have some people in States at the moment that are very helpful. From the NBA player Nikola Jokic, who is always speaking very nice about Serbia as a whole. I think that everybody knows his hometown now in States. I think that in some parts of States they know his hometown better than we do here in Serbia, and that's how it functions.
Unfortunately, Ivana is coming and going, and I'm very sorry about that, because she's really, I'd love to see her all the time, but I try to fill in for her for a second. I want to ask, just let me ask also Jelena, because Jelena, you are in the kitchen of everything, and you're producing great materials for Belgrade, for Serbia. Also, the tourist organization of Serbia is doing a great job. The materials, the promotional materials, the videos, the events that you're doing are of high quality. How do you do that? How do you is that cooking up in your Miodrag set, or are you working with international agencies, or how do you cook that up?
Well, we are a very good team which works together for a long time, and we, if I may say, feel each other strongly. So we all know what to do in almost every situation. But this year we were all focused, especially in the sector of promotion and PR, on digital media and online communication. So we moved to online. All of our activities went online. And we produced a lot of great material over there. So we used our profile, Belgrade profile on social media, on the internet. We created some great videos. We spread the word about Belgrade and Serbia to travelers all around the world. And we actually discovered the power of social media even more this year. We knew all that before, but this year was a lesson for us in order to determine what to continue doing even after this coronavirus situation ends. So in terms of material, also many people helped us. And when I say many people, I'm talking about people like you and Ivana, and also travelers who created their own material and posted it on the internet. There was a time when we were, depending on people's opinion and expression, and all those travelers, when we were like a small destination, all those who visited Belgrade and discovered Belgrade as a surprise, they all shared their own experiences online. That is something that was also very present this year. People were talking about the different situation when they traveled before. And they were talking about their memories. Even they couldn't travel this year. They were talking about travel, and Belgrade was one of the topics. We want to continue with all that. We want to produce even more material, to share experiences, to spread the word, and to share, well, love.
Well, social media you mentioned is something very important. I just want to try to fill in for Ivana, because I'm so terribly sorry she's not in it here. But you know, imagine me just with blonde hair, and it's going to be okay. Sorry for the joke, but I really want to underline the importance of having, you know, ambassadors like Ivana. Turkey is a country where you cannot reach anybody if you don't speak the language. You can have the glossiest brochures, the glossiest advertising, but if you don't reach the heart of the people and the mind of the people with language, with their language, it's almost impossible to advertise anything. Now, Ivana speaks perfect Turkish. She's absolutely, you know, perfect in the language, and having her go out to the media and projecting this image that she's not only in Turkey or from Turkey, but she's from another place, and that place is happened to call Belgrade in Serbia. I would say it's priceless. You know, you can simply, there is no price tag to it, because the emotions come out immediately from somebody like Ivana when she talks about things and about her country. And Ivana participates in many shows. She's the juror in some of the casting shows in Turkey, and I don't have to tell you how much audience that generates. And of course, you know, that's great having that name. I think, you know, that contributes a lot to the image. And also something, you know, you mentioned elite tourism. One thing that everybody comes back from Serbia and says, everybody feels elite. As a matter of fact, there is no elite. People enjoy the simple things. People enjoy having street food. Belgrade is one of the places with the greatest street food on earth. You can, you know, you can eat yourself to death by walking on one of the Belgrade streets. And everything is so delicious and so clean and so available. So I think, you know, this elite tourism concept, of course, you have to cater to all sorts of tasters, and Belgrade has that. The range of 5-star hotels is growing immensely. But I think, you know, the soul of Belgrade, and that's what Ivana was also saying, you know, you have to feel it. You have to feel it from inside, and you just have to taste it on the street. And then even the biggest VIPs, you know, Tiffany Trump was in Belgrade, and she posted all the simple things that she's done, you know, posing in parks of Belgrade and writing in Cyrillic language, you know, welcome to Serbia. And I just think, again, you know, these type of ambassadors, you know, Tiffany Trump is a very intelligent girl, you know, she deserves all the credit for you know, for despite of all the political background. You know, it's great to have people like that talking positively about Belgrade. Can I ask you just one thing to mention before we end? The filmmaking tourism is something that is incredibly growing in Serbia. So many film crews are shooting their movies. What's the secret of that success?
Well, that's if I may, Jelena. Well, actually, you are on my turf now. So, because I was working in TV production as part of my life, either as an anchor or as a producer on television. So basically, Belgrade is very beautiful when you picture it. And the other thing is that, as I told you already, Belgrade is an eclectic city, meaning that you can shoot all sorts of historical periods, that you can shoot even films like from the negative vision of future, because unfortunately there are still a lot of places that look so, but larger than life architecture and so on and so forth. We have 2 rivers. We have places that look like the Amazon, and they are in the center of the town, meaning the War Island that's in the city center, but it's restricted area, natural habitat. When you go out from Belgrade, like from 25 to 30 miles away from the city center, you have places that you think that no one was there before you. So basically, yes, we can do all sorts of other thing is that Belgrade is so popular because people working on movies here in Belgrade and in Serbia are I don't know, like artists. They are very good professionals. And the third thing is that now half of the movies that are produced are also have to do something more or less with the computer animation. And when we talk about the professionals in that line of work, maybe we are second or third in the world. As we speak, especially during the night, there are lots of people, young people in Belgrade and in Serbia working hard to get their job done and to send it to the people back in States. Not necessarily Hollywood, but actually to the other producing houses that are working on the movies at the moment.
That's great to hear. Jelena?
Well, I'm very sorry that I will not have the opportunity to ask Ivana about maybe a possibility of a joint project for Serbia and Turkey, as we would really love to see something like that in the near future. But instead of that, I will just use these final few moments to invite everyone to Belgrade and Serbia on behalf of the tourism organization of Belgrade. The first place visitors from Turkey, as we all hope that they will again soon will be top travelers to our capital city. Miodrag, something you want to say to conclude this conversation?
Yeah, first of all, stay safe. That's what's most important. And the other thing is, hope to see you soon in Belgrade. Not just you two. Well, actually, Ivana is out now. But not just people from Turkey, but from all. I'm looking forward to coming. Everything you said that goes through Belgrade, for me, from my point of view, already, and still goes through Istanbul. And I cannot just wait to get back to Turkey and Istanbul. And once again, stay safe and see you soon.
Thank you, Miodrag, and thank you, Jelena. And sorry for I tried to jump in for Ivana and to make it at least a little bit of her content. I hope I could match the expectations. And again, please, everybody listening, as we couldn't see enough of Ivana, please look up her social media sites and Google her a little bit on the internet. It's really a great personality, and just the way it should be, the way she behaves in Turkey, and the image she's projecting in Turkey is really the way somebody should be, how it is in a foreign country, integrating but still keeping the character of her origin so much alive. And I just love Ivana, the way she does it, and I'm sure you will when you watch her on her site. So thank you very much. We could carry this on for much longer, but I think also to say that a lot of other places in the Balkans, you always sell Balkans as a whole and Southeast Europe because the countries are so close to each other. You can easily jump from one to another, so you can have a great vacation by starting in Belgrade with a few days, going to Sarajevo, and then continuing, to the coast in Croatia. And I just think, that makes a perfect holiday, even for somebody who wants a beach holiday. You can have it together with Belgrade and Serbia. There's even a beach in Belgrade. We have a huge beach with Ada Ciganlija. So there is really something for everybody in Belgrade. Encouraging everybody to take a closer look. Jelena, Miodrag, and Ivana in Istanbul are at your disposal for helping you out. Drop them a message, drop them a mail. They're very active on the media, and you can learn more about Belgrade. Thank you very much, Jelena and Miodrag from the tourist organization of Belgrade, GoBelgrade. And our greetings to Ivana, to Istanbul, if she's hearing us or seeing us somehow. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll be all through this together, and we will all meet in Belgrade, hopefully next year very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.